¿cómo están? Bienvenidos una vez más a Lili Sin Barreras. Aquí el espacio que hemos creado nosotros en nuestra comunidad para que usted se entere de lo valioso que usted es, pero también de las herramientas que hay en nuestras comunidades. Hello everyone, welcome, welcome. This is Lily from Lili Sin Barreras. Did I not tell you that already? In Spanish, see, you got to keep up. Well, today I'm super, super excited to tell you that I met this guest who's going to be with you tonight. I actually met her at an event through another friend, so on and so forth, and I really enjoyed her energy. For those of you who know me, todo es energía, todo es energía, todo es energía. And I really like strength, empathy, humor, and she had it all. And then, of course, she told me she was a coach. So I was like, yeah, this all works for me. And so, you know me, when I find value in an interaction or a conversation or just the existence of someone that I think that all of our community should know about, I jump on it. That's just who I am. What can I tell you? Good evening, Eddie. How are you? How's it going? Bienvenidos a todos, donde quiera que nos estén viendo, a la hora que nos estén viendo. Sus comentarios van a ser compartidos. You can add Kathleen, 10 hours. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just spent time with Kathleen. She is the author of one of the books that we love here. You are really going to like Gladys. I'm doing well. Just got home from visiting the grandchildren. Ooh, that must be exciting. So for all of you, I'm my grandma. What can I tell you? And I love it. I know some people are like, I'm like, I love it. I love being called Nana. I love being called Abuela. I love it all. I love being able to have an excuse to behave like a child. I love it. Buenas noches a todos y cuando sigan llegando se van a enterar de qué estamos hablando, pero la vamos a pasar tipo rico, como siempre la pasamos. Ustedes saben que el chiste siempre se me sale porque yo soy así, porque para los jocosos que se queden en su casa, ¿ok? Pero he conocido a esta persona y yo quiero que ustedes compartan con ella y aprendan de ella. Valiente mujer que abre su propio negocio y dice, I got this. Y I got this she did because she got my attention. Very much so. Y quiero hacerle millones de preguntas. Y ¿saben lo más interesante? Fue que yo le dije a ella, hiciste un poquito de research para que veas el flow. Y me dijo, no quería venir con nada en mi cabeza. No quería venir con juicio, no quería venir con nada. So open mind, open mind. Hey, Mike, how are you? So here we go. Y ella es bilingüe, so don't get it twisted. Because here in Lili Sin Barreras, you know, we go into Spanish, into English, and if I knew another language, I would. Eddie, they're hollering for you. So bienvenida, bienvenida. Y la van a ver ahora en un momento. Aparte de que es y la van a ver con nosotros. Ella va a comer. Hi, love. How are you?
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Gladys, cuéntame, ¿qué te hace venir a Lili Sin Barreras? Say it. She was funny and hostile.
Yes, I'm a bit spicy at times. Yes, absolutely. I just loved your energy. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me. Gracias todo el mundo por tenerme aquí y darme la oportunidad de hablar con todos ustedes. I really like connected with you and just had an awesome time just in conversation and meeting you at the event. I was like, this is great. This is another Latina doing powerful things. And it just created a stir in my heart and in my spirit. And I was like, I have to connect with her. So thank you.
Oh, it's an honor. Para todos ustedes están en pantalla con una mujer que es un coach. Pero ¿saben por qué necesitamos un coach? ¿Verdad? Todo el mundo dice, I don't need a coach. What do I need a coach for? Don't you want someone who has more experience than you, who's been running longer than you, who can help you start that blueprint? Eso que tú tienes en tu cabeza, en tu corazón, en tu alma, ¿ok? Todo eso que tú tienes por dentro, can someone help you write it? Let me tell you, he or she or they who tell them, I did it all by myself, they're liars. I'll call you out right now. Nadie se hace solo. Siempre hay ángeles en el mundo, siempre hay gente linda y hay gente que no son tan lindas, pero también te enseñan. También te enseñan. Hay gente que te tiran piedritas y uno dice, ouch, I guess we're not friends. So, aprendan de esas piedritas también. Gladys, vamos a darte lo que te merece. Gladys Ortiz es coach y CEO. Para todos ustedes que no saben lo que quiere decir eso, ¿ok? Eso quiere que ella tuvo una idea en su corazón. Saben que todo sale del corazón, nada sale de la cabeza, señores. Mm-hmm. So she had an idea in her heart, not her mind. Remember all the work that we've done? And it comes to fruition in her mind, the how to. But it palpitates in your heart. So Gladys, tell us, what have you been working on?
So, oh my gosh, so many things. I just left a 24-year career in the financial industry. My business has been open for a couple of years now. It's called the Go Effect, and it's literally to take action. It literally means like, just go. Like, how do I help you go? How do I create that stir in your heart, in your spirit? And especially for so many multi-passionate people, it is incredible, right? I was at a publishing meeting, and this person said to me, do you know how many dreams die with people, right? Go to a graveyard. That's where all the dreams are. And that literally scared me because I said, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. So I created my business 2 years ago called the Go Effect. It's my initials, Gladys Ortiz. And again, my initials are to take action. So I'm so excited. And I said, I've been coaching in leadership and development, business development for, eons, right? And I'm well preserved. So I know 24-year career, I am, well preserved. So I just want to state that first and foremost. Good genes, I guess, but I owe it all to I'm like hydrate and good eye cream. So yeah, I had this spirit in me, and I literally said to myself, I'm like, okay, I help people all the time. I make all this money for organizations and corporations. Sorry, it's a bit humid here in Connecticut, so I apologize. I have the AC going, but apparently it's not doing enough. So needless to say, I had this in my spirit, and I said to myself, how do I create something for people and women and men, right, that are genuinely looking for more, right, that are multi-passionate, that have that tug in their heart or that nudge that says, I should be doing something along my 9 to 5, or I should work on something to leave my 9 to 5, whatever that looks like. But I really come from a place of service, and I'm like, how do I help so many people? And I prayed about it. I kid you not, I prayed about it because I'm a faith woman. And literally the next day I had my logo, my name of my business, the colors, everything. I just didn't know how to put it digitally on a website, or, that's not my area of expertise. I'm a coach. I'm not tech savvy. So, but I said, you know what? I surrounded myself with so many people that I have the vetted people and the group of people that I'm connected with, that's their area of expertise. And again, relying on community, really relying on community. Who do I know? Who can I connect with that can help me create this vision and put it in a digital format? So I did all that, and I've been helping people ever since. So I've been working on, I have a 4-week course that's for the new entrepreneur, right? It's a 4-week course. It keeps you accountable week after week. It's called Going on a Business Journey. Now let's talk money, right? Because a lot of people.
Oh, well, you can't drop gold and not let us go there. Para todos ustedes estamos con Gladys. Y Gladys es una coach. Para todos ustedes que piensan que es un coach, pues es como una mentora, ¿verdad? Esa persona donde uno va y uno dice, mira, mi corazón me palpita porque yo quiero hacer esto, pero no tengo esto, no tengo aquello, no tengo. Pues
o no saben dónde empezar. Tienen una idea, pero no saben cómo empezar y dicen, ¿cómo yo empiezo algo así? Eso no es para mí. Como niña, yo eso mucho. Mi mamá me decía a mí, que paz descanse, me decía, eso no es para nosotros. Y yo, ¿pero por qué? Y ella nunca me explicaba. ¿Pero por qué? Eso no es para nosotros. Pues todo es para nosotros. Sorry.
Me encanta, me encanta. Ya saben por qué la traje acá el programa. Pero todos los beneficios de tener un mentor o una mentora es en realidad para uno crear, ¿verdad? Uno crear lo que uno quiere. Nosotros nacimos para compartir, ¿verdad? Para compartir en comunidad, para compartir nuestros regalitos, para compartir nuestros talentos, para compartir todas esas cosas. Pero siempre hay que estar atento a aquel que tiene habilidades. Acabas de decir algo que yo encuentro que es tan impactante, Gladys, and I want to share it with people. Has tomado todas estas experiencias que has tenido en tu vida, todo el liderazgo que has tenido, has escuchado la voz que dice no para mí, la has rechazado, ¿verdad? Porque todos nos educan de lo que tienen. I say to people all the time, have mercy with what you're hearing because it comes from the place of knowing, right? So you're going to share the knowledge you have and believe for me. And sometimes the no's are not negative, believe it or not. That sounds like a crazy thing. They are based out of love and fear for you. So if my loved one, my baby, my best friend, me la van a criticar, me la van a maltratar, they're not going to treat her right, they're not, they're going to be mean to her, and I don't want her to feel that way. So not everybody who kind of takes away the wind for you, they're not always ill-intended. So I'd like to clarify that there are those ugly birds out there. Watch out for those because they will poop on you. So be ready. Pero Gladys, you've been able to deal with all of that, have your expertise, and then transfer them.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, the no's are they're not a no, right? I love the fact that you said that it's not always a negative thing. It's a not right now. And that's literally how I climbed and turned, my career and in my business. That's my model. One of my mantras in my business is I turn nothing into something. So I have literally, again, been in that career that I recently left in the financial industry. And I started off as a part-timer, 20 hours, 19 years old, and worked my way up the ladder and literally did every position. And it was just great. It was an opportunity to really learn. But again, I had a couple of things going. I was a female and I was Latina, and, I was from the Bronx in New York and in Hartford, Connecticut. Right. So, again, it was like, was I the most educated person in the room? No. But I always knew that I had a spirit in me that was like, you know more and you have a voice.
Okay. So then again, I got to interrupt you because you're dropping like big things that si no tienen lápiz y papel, cogen la crayola. Para aquellos que son de mi edad, los 54 años, pues ya saben que escribíamos en el club, ¿se acuerdan? Escribíamos en el club con el lipstick. Ustedes no saben nada de eso porque ustedes nunca fueron a un club, nunca bailaron, nada de eso, se lo perdieron todo. Pero yo sí. Pero eso, busquen lo que tengan que buscar. Escuchen lo que una mujer tan joven, tan sabia, con mucha experiencia le está diciendo. Porque aquí están teniendo un coach, lo crean o no. Porque todo lo que ella le está dando en estos momentos, aparte de que tiene un curso de 4 semanas que usted puede tomar intenso, pónganse intensos en la vida. Be intense. Go for it.
I always coach to the fact that you have to be intentful, right? Like you want to live your life on your terms. And that is for everyone. It doesn't matter what society says about you. It doesn't matter what culturally conditioned you to be the person that you've become or the young adult that you've become or even the full grown adult, right? Culturally conditioned. My mom didn't know what she knew. So when she made comments like, oh, that's not for us, honey. That's not for you. I always said that doesn't sit well with me. That's not okay. So I'm actually writing a book about my life story and how I grew up in the cultural conditioning of being, brought up in a Latina household and those limiting beliefs and how, again, like you mentioned, they're not intentionally harmful, but they're impactful to young girls and young men. Like being told to a young guy, I had a client, a male, that said to me, I was told, man up, you can't cry. And I was like, no, it's okay to cry. That's great. That's vulnerability, right? And none of us want to be vulnerable because we feel exposed. Or that little girl who was like, that's not for you. That's not for us. That's for other people. well, who are those other people? Because if I cut you and I cut me, we bleed the same. So I'm the other people too. But again, my mom didn't know what she didn't know. So I knew that I had to do something, right? And I wanted to help as many people as possible. And I have all this experience in the financial industry. And again, different roles, numerous roles, and all in leadership. So I have 20 plus years in leadership. And again, coaching and developing people and business development. And I was like, wow, so many dreams are dying. How do I help people and at a reasonable rate and create something that they could follow that's easy? Because a lot of people, the internet is free, right? We Google, but there's so many misleading things. Oh, I can make 30 grand in a month. Just do this. Click the link in my bio. And it's just like, you got to go through all the hoops, and let me tell you, you got to put in the work. So I created this 4-week program. It's called Going on a Business Journey. Now let's talk money, because again, a lot of people like myself had a 9-to-5, but felt passionate. Something was nudging in my spirit to say, create more. You were meant for more. And so I did. So I created this program, and it's for the new entrepreneur or the entrepreneur who's been in business less than 3 years. It's a quick starter pack. I priced it reasonably low. It's group coaching and I don't allow more than 15 people in the class, because I really want to create community. And I want people that, although they're not in the same type of business, it's important for me that their voices are heard. And you never know if someone's going to ask a question and say, oh, I was thinking of asking that, but I didn't want to say it because I was too shy on camera, right? So I get a lot of that. And then you get a free private. So I walk you through the steps of owning your business and walking through your business, and not money dumping, because that's important to me. Again, you're funding this new passion project with your 9-to-5 or your savings, and you don't want to go broke. That's important to me, because I'm like, no, we're going to do this affordably and sustainably, so that you don't go broke, or your spouse or your partner, whatever, is not killing you because you're starting a business. It should feel fun. Starting your business should feel fun, and it should feel good, especially if it's something you're passionate about, right? So I'm super passionate about coaching. I believe the world needs a life coach in their lives. It doesn't matter where you're at in life. It doesn't matter. You can be the most expert in your field. You still need some type of coaching, because not every human being knows everything. And I always say something so simple. You don't know what you don't know.
Okay.
That's so important. So I created that program. There's going to be a launch to that, like once a business has been in business and they're ready to expand and all that. And again, having all this knowledge in the financial industry has really, I see people that come and they're like, they got this great spirit, they got this great business, they're making all this money, but they're not showing it, right? So my phase 2 follow-up program to that is coming out next year too. And it's going to be how to write a business plan. A lot of people in my community, new entrepreneurs or, newly started, don't know how to even write a business plan. They don't know what the documentation is needed and how to properly fill it out to walk into a bank and ask for a loan for expansion. And then when the bank turns you down, what are your other options? What's the contingency plan? So that's what I want to build going forward for next year. I also
Gladys, can I stop you for a second, because you are dropping so much knowledge? Y yo le dije a todo el mundo que buscaran papel, lápiz, crayola, lo que ustedes quieran. Todos ustedes que están por ahí, la pintura de los nenes, que están pintando. Este es un momento donde usted se puede posicionar y decir, hay 40 cosas que dijiste ahí que me encantan, Gladys. Una de las cosas que nos suceden, y me sucedió a mí, una de las cosas que sucede es que uno se emociona mucho cuando uno abre un negocio o un evento o un movimiento, porque yo lo que tengo es un movimiento, ¿verdad? Y entonces uno se emociona mucho y gasta mucho dinero, invierte mucho dinero. ¿Y qué pasa? Le está depilando su casa, le está depilando a sus ahorros, le está depilando a usted, porque entonces eso provoca una ansiedad, a su relación romántica o la relación que usted tenga, a las personas que confían en usted, que usted tiene que pagar esto, tiene que pagar aquello. ¿Cómo diseña todo eso? Lo que sucede con tantas cosas es que nosotros, si miran las estadísticas, mayoría de las personas que abren un negocio no duran 5 años en el negocio. Y eso tiene mucho que ver con nosotros no estar informados sobre ¿qué? el dinero, ¿dónde lo consigo? Y que nos retiramos así. Ay, no, Gladys no le gustó lo que yo le dije. No, pero ¿qué pasa si voy a Liliana? Okay, ¿qué aprendí cuando Gladys me dijo que no? Si Gladys es un inversionista, si Gladys es un banco, si Gladys es simplemente una amiga, si simplemente, no simplemente amiga, porque yo mis amigas las adoro. ¿Qué hacemos si yo encuentro que toda esa experiencia que ella ha tenido en la banca, como decimos nosotros en el barrio, acá, es la más fluida? Porque saben que desde pequeñitos nosotros hemos tenido la decadencia de entender y respetar el dinero, porque es como que lo queremos y lo odiamos y lo gastamos y lo botamos y no sabemos ni cómo invertirlo. Por ejemplo, Gladys, te digo esto y por eso me emocioné mucho cuando hablé contigo. No todo el mundo viene a 19 añitos, estar en una mesa y ya saber que ella quería crecer, que ya ella pertenecía. Number one feeling, I wish I was talking to my husband the other day saying this. I never felt like I didn't belong. That was not in my head. Nunca, nunca yo me sí sentía las miradas. Yo era diferente, era la minoría. Había gente que se mofaba de mi acento, ¿verdad? Y ahora nos aman y nos quieren, and you just want, we're the best market in the world. Yeah. So now you're trying to speak to us in our language, right? Because it's, if you look at TV, you're looking at it. I mean, if you look at economy, you're looking at it. We make it or break it, so don't get it twisted. Yeah. Somos nosotros los que estamos el cliente activamente. Pero quién sabe, Yesenia, te amo, te quiero, morena, negra, te adoro. Yesenia es la voz más querida que yo he tenido en la radio. Esa muchacha yo la amo, la adoro, es artista. Sonia Yaritza Medina, gracias por estar con nosotros. Y tienen a Gladys. So quería compartir con ustedes un poquito de la importancia de sentirse a la mesa. Lo otro que dijiste, Gladys, que es vital. Vagabum, tírenlo por ahí, porque ahí es que ella se ríe. Cuando ella me conocía a mí, eso era lo único que ella hacía, era reírse. Yep. ¿Saben dónde hay muchos sueños muertos? En el cementerio. Y eso fue lo que ella dijo, y lo hemos escuchado de otros coaches también, pero uno de mis favoritos que me encanta es Les Brown, y tiene muchísimo de eso, ¿verdad? Pero ¿qué pasa? Escuchamos Les Brown, escuchamos T.D. Jakes, escuchamos Lisa Nichols, who I love to death, Shanika Kai, I love them to death, pero ahora tienes
Gladys Ortiz from the Go Effect.
Right. No, sí, ella anda sin miedo. No, eso es sin miedo. So she is fearless. And that's what you want on a coach. Even when you don't believe in yourself, even when you're half holding, to have that coach say, I got you. If you are willing to stay in the game, because that's the other thing that I think, Gladys, you brought in. Are you willing to stay in the game? Okay.
Yeah, that commitment is huge, right? That commitment is huge to the personal growth, to the work that you're creating, to the person that you want to become or that you're becoming, right? Because everyone's journey is different, but also to the end result, right? The action that you take for the desired result. One of the things I always coach to too is you have every right, you don't have to ask permission to live life on your terms. What does that look like? What does it feel like for you? That's important because again, you matter. So it's vital to anyone's journey, no matter what you're on, what part of the journey you're on, beginning, middle, or end, it doesn't matter. There's always a starting point, there's always a middle, and there's always a desired result. But it's not going to be handed to you. It's going to be work. And I continuously do work, right? So the coach has a coach too, because I'm a firm believer that no matter what I do, I have to continue learning. I have to continue growing. And even though, I've been on women conferences, panels, I've spoken at a couple of women conferences on panels. It doesn't matter. I have improvement. I can get better and better and better. And every day I make a choice to show up as my true, authentic self. And I tell my
Gladys, I have to tell you, I do not trust a coach who doesn't desire or is hungry to grow themselves. Yeah. I do not trust a coach. Escúchalo. Hola, por ahí está Sonia. Sonia, un abrazo. Me confundieron contigo hace una semana y yo les, ay, qué bonita, porque yo soy más viejita que Sonia. So me sentí súper chévere, Sonia. Un abrazo virtual a todos ustedes. Otra mujer valiente la hemos tenido aquí en Lili Sin Barrera. No confío en aquel mentor o coach que no tenga el hambre de crecer, porque si tú no creces y tú eres mi coach, we're stagnant, right? So I can only have you for a certain period of time. And I have been there. I have said to people, I have fulfilled, my obligation with you. Now I'm going to send you over to Gladys. Go meet Gladys, because that's a very important thing for us to know, to say, here, I taught you everything I know, okay? Or it's not me who you need. It's Gladys who you need. No soy yo la persona que tú necesitas. Es Gladys la que tú necesitas. Gladys, háblanos un poquito de yo, Lili, voy donde ti. Yo siempre me uso. Voy donde ti y voy con este sueño. So I'm hungry with this dream, but I tell you, Gladys, I don't have money. I want to start this podcast, but I don't have any money, and I don't know if people are going to watch it or if people are going to want to invest in me. I don't know. Don't tell anybody, Gladys. Don't tell anybody. Just between you and I. How many times have you had this conversation?
Numerous, right? Again, it goes back to that desire, that nudge. I want to do something. I want to create something. And that, there's all these fancy terms now that we call, imposter syndrome, the limiting and doubting and fearful beliefs that we create in ourselves. And our brains are naturally designed to protect us from, oh no, you're not equipped to do that, right? You don't have the degree on the wall that says you're capable or you've mastered this certain skill. Well, I don't care what age, what walk of life you're in, you have an opportunity to earn and learn a skill, whether you go back to school or whether you get it through experience, right? But fear is the number one dream killer, I'll tell you. And so I walk my clients through making sure that we're working through all that mind drama, because it truly is a mindset. It is that thing that, you have this dream. And I'm like, what are you willing to do right now? And I want to create a safe space, because first and foremost, I want my clients to know that they're okay, right? And everything's 100% confidential. But it's my job as a coach to stretch them out a little bit more, right? So I start with, well, what if it works out? Tell me what it looks like if it all works out, right? And this is the difference too. I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between a therapist and a life coach, right? A therapist works through all that, I was 8 years old and this happened to me. And I was like, I get it, but I don't want to go back there. Although as a coach, a lot of my clients experience, well, this happened to me in high school and that's what's coming up for me now when I'm like 40 or 50 years old. And I'm like, that's okay, right? My job as a life coach is to help you work with the way forward, like adelante, because no nos podemos quedar atrás. We can't stay stuck in old beliefs and old mindsets and old mind drama. That's not going to help you
start. Gladys, I want to ask you this, and I'm sorry to interrupt you. Since you have so much good information, and I want people to get that and to jump on that course. Y no se asombren si soy yo la que estoy allí con Gladys and going, okay, enséñame todo lo que tú sabes because I need it. No, I have no shame in my game. No shame in my game. Me encanta estar alrededor de personas que de verdad sepan más que yo, porque yo sé lo mío y todavía sigo creciendo. Gladys, cuando me encanta la separación que hiciste de terapista y una coach, que es una mentora, ¿verdad? Esa guía, esa luz, ¿ok? A veces las confundimos, ¿verdad? Y decimos, es que Gladys no me entiende. Esta no ha sido mi experiencia con Gladys, que quede claro, ¿ok? No sean chismosos, ¿ok? Que Gladys no me entiende. ¿Estás buscando un terapeuta o estás buscando un coach? Y yo creo que el coach que entienda la diferencia, igual que Gladys dijo, vamos a hablar sobre qué tenemos que sanar. Y a veces el coach te dice, ok, Lili, ¿me dirías tú a mí, Gladys? Ok, Lili, eso para terapia.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Bueno.
100%. I would say, I turned down two clients earlier this year. One reached out to me and she's like, I want to work with you. And through the discovery call, some things came up regarding domestic violence, right? And I said to her, I am not the coach for you. However, I can put you in contact with someone that's their field of expertise. Because I don't believe in taking people's money or working with just anyone, right? I'm very selective too. Because again, I'm creating an impact and I want to make sure that your desired results I help you achieve. So that wasn't my wheelhouse, but I knew someone that could, and she was persistent. I want to work with you, Gladys. I heard that you're the best and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, thank you so much. I'm so honored. But again, I'm not the coach for you. And then I had someone else who needed therapy. And she said to me, and I said to her, she shared some very intimate things. And I said, I'm gonna stop our discovery call because you really need like a therapist, like a family therapist to help you work through this because there's a lot of trauma there. And being respectful and again, not wanting to take your money. And I'm very, I'm very, very morally and ethically, I check myself and make sure that I'm aligned with what I want to serve to my people and to my clients. That's important to me. So I recommended a few therapists too, again, because I have that professional network and I was able to connect her with someone. And she recently reached out through Instagram and said, hey, thank you so much. I've been working with her. It's been like 3 months and I'm really enjoying my time with her. And I was like, yes. Because again, it's not a competition. It's a totally different field of work. I don't want to start, tell me from your first core memory, right? I'm like, where are you at now? What's going well, what's not going well, and what is the desired outcome, right? We want results that are oriented towards your future. And that's my job as a life coach. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to have these weekly meetings with you. We're going to connect. We're going to talk about all things, right? We're going to pivot to, and again, you're going to be triggered, right? There's nobody in this planet that's not triggered. And especially if you're a person of color, you are triggered in some capacity. So those are okay to work through. But again, what's the way forward? And that's important to me.
Gladys, me encanta la forma en que lo dice. Hay una diferencia bien grande, yo quiero que ustedes lo sepan, mi gente, pero la inversión en un coach es tan y tan vital, porque a veces uno comete errores, especialmente financieros, y comadre que los he cometido yo. Okay, my husband loves me because there's no other way to put it, like whatever. Te amo, mi amor, celebrando aniversario. It is so hard for you to sometimes, like you said, not know what you don't know. A veces tenemos tanto miedo de decir yo no sé y pretendemos que sabemos algo. Eso nos cuesta una cantidad de dinero increíble.
Y tiempo que no te regresa. Because mira, no importa si tú eres millonario o si eres el más pobre del mundo, lo que no podemos comprar es más tiempo.
Amen, preach. No tenemos más tiempo, eso lo digo yo todo el tiempo. Gladys, háblanos del curso. Ya me están texteando por aquí, por eso es que estoy mirando a la gente que me diga del curso. So, Gladys es una coach que tiene muchísima experiencia en el mundo financiero. Aparte de ser latina, para todos ustedes saben que Papá Dios es especial para mí, Papá Dios es especial para ella. If that's something that you think it's important for you, sometimes we need certain things to align for us to work with someone. So let's talk about, before we go into the course, because I want people to see the beauty and the bravery that it takes. When does Gladys, if you feel comfortable telling me this, when does Gladys say, I'm going to take this and make it into my coaching business? Because this is a big decision.
Yeah.
Para todos ustedes que no lo saben, cuando uno decide dejar la permanencia, porque el negocio es 24/7. Dejar la permanencia que uno pues se ha acostumbrado, 9 de la mañana, 5 de la tarde, 3 a 11, cual sea el turno que tú tengas, pero sabes para dónde vas, qué vas a hacer en esa tarea, Y ahora decides, al igual que hizo Sonia, ahora decides que vas a abrir tu propio negocio. Fuiste clara en que fuiste donde el Padre Celestial y conocí una amiguita que también quiero traerla para acá que dijo, ay, sí, yo soy la que ora por todo el mundo. Yo soy el canal. Me encantó. When does that happen?
So I was, COVID happened, right? So we're in the middle of this pandemic. I'm working from home. I'm a business banker at this time. I'm putting in PPP applications galore. That money's running out, but business owners are scared. So I prayed about it all. I'm working from home and I said, I got to help more people. And I noticed that I had colleagues and, clients and then friends and family members come to me asking for coaching. How do I work through this? How do I help, with parenting? How do I work through this grief and the pandemic? And this is killing me and I'm inside and all I have is this Zoom. Thank goodness for Zoom, right? We all should have bought probably Zoom stock back in the day. Let's just say that first and foremost, right? Or Microsoft Teams. What were we thinking? We should have bought stock. We'd be in the money right now. But no, so I was home and I prayed about it and I got all my logo and all this stuff and I didn't know how I was going to do this, right? I really didn't. And first and foremost, I have a fear. I just want to share this with everyone. I have a fear of cameras and live TV. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do this because people need to know, right? So, So I have fears and phobias too.
Oh, God, yes. Thank you for humanity.
Yes. So I started doing little videos here and there. I created the course. Again, I was like, how do I help people? People were asking me, Gladys, how do you do this? You have this plethora of knowledge in this financial industry. Are the banks going to go under? What's going on? And I said to them, no, you still have to have faith in the financial industry, right? Because obviously the government works the way it works, but we have rules and regulations. So I said, we'll be fine. Your money's safe. It's all good. But I said, how do I help my way, right? Not with the bank's name on the door, not with the rules and the corporate kind of mindset. So I said, how do I help my way? How do I help my community? And so I created the course. Again, it's called Going on a Business Journey. Now let's talk money. Because again, we take this thing that we're so passionate about and they think, oh, I'm going to market myself here. And that costs $500. Oh, I got to build a website. And I got a quote for a website that was literally $12,000. And I go, I don't have $12,000 for a website. So I was like, thank you so much for your services. Bye. Thanks for the consultation, but absolutely not. Next. And then it came to me, right? I was like, I sit on all these boards again, because I'm so wrapped up in, oh my gosh, I got to do this, right? I know all the steps to creating a business. But I forgot to utilize my resources and to utilize the boards that I sit on, the community, the people that I've met throughout my career, other business owners that I'm like, hey, that maybe don't bank with me, but I met them at an event, very much like how you and I met. And I said, oh, bright side, I know this one person and she's going to help me. And I invited her for coffee and I said, hey, and oddly enough, her name is Liliana. So I called her and she was a fellow Latina and I said, this is great. So I called her and I said, hey, let's have coffee. And she thought I was talking about the board that we sit on. And I said, no, I need to talk to you. Let me buy you a cup of coffee, breakfast, whatever. And we sat down and I said, I have this vision and this is my logo and these are my colors. And I took a napkin and I scribbled it on a napkin. And she'll tell you if you ever were to meet her, she has that napkin to this day. And that was 2 years ago. So I said, I'm going to do this. She helped me create my website and everything. She's wonderful. If she's part of my vetted networking group. And alongside my 9 to 5, I said, you know what? I can't leave the bank just yet, right? Because it's a scary thought. I'm the sole provider. I'm a divorced single mom of 3. And so I said, I can't leave just yet. But I knew that I had to have a certain dollar amount in savings, that I had to have certain things paid off. And I gave myself 2 years. And I said, I'm going to have this paid off.
Okay, Gladys, let's pause here.
Yeah.
Let's pause here because this is so important. This is so important. Yo quiero que ustedes escuchen 2 years. Nosotros vivimos en un mundo donde lo queremos todo plan,
Insane.
but you gotta plan. I almost killed my other camera. You gotta plan, ¿verdad? Y parte de planificar es el tiempo. Porque a veces corres de tu trabajo, el que tienes estable, el que te paga la renta, el que te paga pues el cuidado de los niños, ella es madre soltera, de 3, ¿ok? Ella es la cabeza de la casa económicamente, espiritualmente. Enfermera, doctora, todo. Right, enfermera, doctora, psicóloga, la corte, todo lo eres tú. Pero planificaste por 2 años, and I want people to really hear that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've had people say to me, Lily, you've been in the dark. And I'm like, no, I've been working. I've been working. A veces hay personas que me dicen a mí, no te vi en este evento, no te vi en aquel evento, no te vi en el otro. Mira que la gente no te va a ver. I'm like, I'm focused. I'm not in the dark. I'm working. Quiero saludar a todos ustedes que están ahí, pero no puedo decirles que gracias por todas las estrellas que nos envían, nos ayudan muchísimo con la misión, con estas conversaciones. Y gracias a mi nieta que está por ahí, esa es Madre Colón. Es rico ser la abuela de una niña de 16 años que todavía thinks you're cool. I don't know how I achieved that, but she thinks I'm cool. So Gladys, 2 años.
Yes, so 2 years, because I said to myself again, I set intentions, right? And you hear a lot of, oh, I'm manifesting this and that's all great. And I'm not saying not to manifest, not to dream big, not to believe in your dream. And sometimes some people are overnight success. I said, if I'm going to create something that's sustainable, that's going to be long-term, that I'm going to leave a legacy for my 3 kids, then I have to do it. I have to do it intentionally my way. And everybody's way is different. So that, you don't have to take 2 years. I took 2 years because, again, I said I have to have a certain dollar amount in my savings account. That's important to me, right? That safety net, that security. And right, again, when you're starting a business, you're wasting money and there's no money coming in. There's no money coming in. I don't believe I made money in my business. I think it was month 6 or 7 that I started to see money coming in. And I was like, wow. But again, I knew my 9 to 5 and I kept them very separate, even though they're very aligned, right? Because I teach, all kinds of things. But I said, I have to be very separate. So my business was very much part-time. And there was times in this 2-year journey where I made my business a choice. And that's the number one thing that if I could stress to any new entrepreneur is that, that if you're working alongside your 9 to 5, your business is not a choice. It is not a choice. It is a passion project. Yes. But if you're looking to monetize it and if you're looking to make money, whether it's passive income, whether it's to replace the income or surpass it from your 9 to 5 and eventually leave that 9 to 5 world, your business cannot be a choice. And there were times in these 2 years that my business was a choice. So I said I have to have a certain number of money in my savings, right? I want to pay certain things off. I bought a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee, right? I'm on my 5th Jeep, actually. I love Jeeps.
She's a fan of Jeeps. And let me just tell you, I liked her enough because when she saw my Prius, she was like, you drive a Prius? I was like, oh, you're like instantly. And she's like, I love my Jeep. I love my Jeep.
I was like, oh, you're so cute. You're like hybrid and environmentally friendly. I was like, meanwhile, I'm like mud riding through a Jeep, just like, but I
thought that was hilarious. You're like, you got a Jeep. I mean, you got a Prius. I was like,
oh, you're so cute. Yeah, that's your car right there, that little thing. But it was awesome. It's a cool color too, though. It's a cool color.
Thank you.
So I bought my Jeep. And again, I was like, okay, I'm going to take out a 5-year loan, right? And how do I pay this off in 2.5 years, right? Because again, along with my strategic goals to sustainably create my business, to sustain me and my household, again, single mom, 3 kids. I have 1 in college and I have 2 teenagers at home that are in high school. So again, they're not cheap. So I had to be very intentional. And I think that that's what people miss is the intentional piece of creating. You can be super creative. You can have all the best ideas. You can come from great energy and vibrating and like, you know, again, but if you're not intentional with where you want to be, if you're not intentional with short-term and long-term goals, if you're not intentional with how you want to feel, what your business looks like, I knew because I've seen it, right? I have this experience, 24 years worth, that I said to myself, okay, Gladys, I want XYZ, and I work towards XYZ. And so in June, actually June 2nd, I became 100% an entrepreneur and left my career because I believed in me and I believe in the power of what I'm creating and the impact that I am making for so many people everywhere. I mean, I get calls from South America, discovery calls when they go on my website.
Aquí tienes Perú, Colombia, Nigeria, Guatemala. I mean, aquí tienes un poquito de todo. So, mira,
I love it. I love it. And I tell them all, I'm like, esto va a ser en Spanglish because aunque soy puertorriqueña, no, yo nací aquí, no nací allá, so hay una diferencia. Y yo siempre le digo a todo el mundo, perdona mi español, porque te digo, yo aprendí el español viendo telenovelas en Univisión y viendo a Walter Mercado con mi abuela desde pequeña. Todos los fines de semana yo estaba en casa de mi abuela y eso era, no me toque la televisión. Y yo, ok, y yo ahí, pero si tú te vas
paz y amor, mi amor, paz y amor, ¿qué te pasa? Walter Mercado.
Mucho amor.
Para todos ustedes que no lo saben, Walter Mercado era una personalidad que yo sé que anda en el cielito porque él siempre andaba haciendo cosas muy maravillosas, pero era ícono de nuestra comunidad y uno se sentaba ahí a ver a Walter Mercado y que nos estaba diciendo del horóscopo, porque uno tenía que saber qué era lo que iba a pasar en la vida de uno, ¿verdad? Y ahora eso me da un poquito de miedo porque yo no quiero saber qué va a pasar en mi vida. You know, it takes out of the fun, pero Walter Mercado icono para nosotros.
He was wise beyond his years though, because he was doing things and creating things that we were like, oh, he's a little bit out there, right? But now it's like, that's normal. Like now, I remember the jewelry he wore and I was like, oh, look at all his bracelets and look at his rings. And I was like, this is great. And I'm like, just showing up as himself. Like, he's like, this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be. And I love that because a lot of times we don't get to truly express ourselves. So I told you, and I told the community how I have a fear of being live on TV or like doing videos. And my marketing team goes, Gladys, we need a video from you, right? And I go, oh, this is like my least favorite thing to do. Like I panic. I'm like, it's bad. But then I go, okay, fine. So my marketing team's always like, no, I need a deadline, right? I need a date and I need a time that you're going to submit this video. And I'm like, okay, because they know if I don't submit it, then I'm not committed to it. So that's their way of getting me to commit. But I show up in my videos. If you look at Instagram, I show up makeup, no makeup, glasses, no glasses, hair done, no hair done. I'm like, you know why? Because I could be picture perfect all the time, but for what? That's not who I am on my day-to-day, right?
Yo tampoco.
I'm like, listen, this is, you get what you get. Like, and you get it when you get it because, and one of the things I want to stress too, it doesn't make you less valuable because a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I got to be on camera and I have to be this and I have to be that and I have to look a certain way. And it's like, girl, nobody cares what you look like. Just show up because what you have to say, again, your voice is so valuable. What you're sharing with the world, they need to hear. So keep
Me
showing
encanta.
Up.
Tiene tanta. Yo quiero que tú regreses, Gladys, porque la energía, me están texteando las personas que energía buena, qué bonita, quiero el curso, no sé cuánto cuesta.
Oh, check out the website.
Okay, la vamos a poner, el equipo la va a poner para todos ustedes, los miedos que todos tenemos que bregar con la vida. Nadie está exento de la vida. Son las cosas que pasan. Por ejemplo, yo hago mi café con Lili, a veces tengo el pelo, pues, como me da la gana, como no me da la gana, porque el pelo de uno a veces dice que es así o es asá.
No,
Y,
la humedad también, chacho, me está
oh,
matando el pelo. Y esto no es
sí,
natural porque yo tengo el pelo rizo, para que lo sepan.
y yo
Esto es
muerta
pelo
de
rizo.
envidia. Me tuve que hacerme esos rolos acá. Pero si me empañeto para el programa, ¿verdad? Los domingos. Pero si me ves, usualmente vas a ver todo. Mis videos son muy orgánicos. He sido continuamente criticada por eso. Criticada continuamente. Por eso. Y sabes qué? Que la cara que yo le quiero dar a la vida es la cara que estoy agradecida por tener, ¿verdad? La que quiero compartir contigo. Y sí, me gusta follarme y todo ese tipo de cosas. Y hoy me bañé y todo ese tipo de cosas simplemente para Gladys, no para más nadie. No
Gracias,
empiecen a
gracias.
cuchillo, fue para Gladys. Gladys, cuéntanos un poquito de cómo todo está, entiendo que todo está en tu website, en tu
Yeah.
página, pero quiero saber un poquito más de cuál es el cliente indicado para ti. Me emociono yo porque yo necesito a Gladys a qué punto. When do I come to Gladys?
So, I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at, right? If you feel that you need someone that is going to uplift you, encourage you, support you, hold you accountable, with whatever, right? We all go through life changes. The average person goes through at least 2 life-changing events a year. And so whether it's parenting, whether it's grief, whether it's career development, career blockage, it's, all the things impeding you from living your best life. I want to help you. I want to help you with your way forward. If you're starting a business, if you started a business and failed and you want to start another one, or you want to, like I call it, the Frankenstein method, where you're reviving something. God knows I'm in the middle of reviving my podcast because I created a podcast and I let it die. And I get people that go, hey, are you going to drop another episode? And I'm just like, I'm working on it. Show me some grace. I'm working on it. But, I encourage you, if you're the person that's like ready to take action and just don't know where to start, book a consultation call, book a discovery call. Let's talk, let's connect. Let's see if it's a good fit, right? Because again, I'm very, very intentional with making sure that we're aligned to work together. My job is not just, I'm not in it just to take your money. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to create lasting results.
La gente tiene muchísimas preguntas. Lamentablemente vas a tener que regresar.
Yes, absolutely.
Lamentablemente, I know it's been horrible for you. I know, I see it in
This
your
is
face.
great.
Ha sido horrible para la pobrecita, imagínense. Pero sí quiero hacer una pregunta, Gladys. ¿Cuánto cuesta esa llamada?
Oh, la llamada es gratis. No te cuesta nada para hablar conmigo. Solamente go to the website. Look, there's a calendar there. I opened it up more because I said, I know that I'm doing certain events and I want to create availability. So go to the website, thegoeffect.com. I purchased both URLs. So it's the THE effect, AFFECT.com. Go on the website, check me out, my team, and look on the website for the calendar and just book a call at a time. That's it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to have a conversation with me. And again, the goal is to make sure that we're a good fit, to make sure that I can help you with your results, right? And whatever your desired result is, that I can help you with your way forward.
So Gladys, tengo que decirte que you have a couple of potential clients here already. You have an artist. Michael Newman is an artist. Like an artist.
Love creative artsy people.
He has made a piece of art for me that's incredible, with a mirror and hands and angels. And so this is a piece of art that I just love. And it came out of him. So he took my logo and came out with something inspirational. It's a beautiful, beautiful. So Michael, now you know that the call is for free. So the beginning, but I really want to encourage all of you. Lo quiero invitar a todos que la llamada es gratis. Ustedes pueden posicionarse ustedes mismos, pueden ir al calendario, ¿verdad? Y entonces ustedes decidir de todas las fechas que ella tiene disponibles, cuál es la mejor para usted, cuál es la hora, pero sí les pido, por favor, que inviertan en ustedes mismos. De la misma manera en que yo me voy a hacer estas uñas, ¿ok? Hay veces que uno tiene que tomar la determinación, me voy a hacer las uñas este mes o tengo que pagarle a Gladys porque Gladys me va a llevar a hacerme las uñas con los diamantes y esa vaina y toda esa cosa que o la gente hace así, uno no nada más que me las uñas a la persona.
You're like this,
You're like, ajá,
and I'm trying to keep up.
exactly. Inviertan en sí mismos. Y yo creo que un coach es vital para todos ustedes que quieren tener. Miren, ¿saben una cosa que me interesa muchísimo? Es que cuando nuestras comunidades invierten en ustedes, cuando Gladys sube, yo subo.
Pues claro. Eso es estigma también que I want to say real quick too. Just because there's another coach or there's another this or there's another that. Listen, I'm all for women empowerment. Again, there's no competition because there's no other Gladys Ortiz but me. There might be another one named Gladys Ortiz, but there's no other, G Money like me. That's my alter ego. My alter ego is G Money. She's a pink psychotic poodle, so I have an alter ego. But
I like G Money.
Nobody is you. Like, I don't care if there's a million nail techs, right? You just choose the salon that you walk into. If it works, great. If not, you move along. And there's nothing wrong. I hate when people say the market is so saturated for X industry. No, it's not, because you're unique in your own way, and no one is going to deliver that message like you. And no one's going to, I know myself, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be, right? Again, that's why we book these discovery calls and we discover whether we're going to work together well or not, right? Because I may be like, okay, on a timeline, and somebody may say, well, I'm not ready to be held accountable like that. Well, then you picked the wrong coach. You know what I mean? Because I want to help you, but I'm also going to keep it real with you. Like, I don't believe in sugarcoating. There might be gentle nudges, right? Because we got gentle nudges, but sometimes I'm going to be like, all right, let's go. Let's take action. Like, let's get it done. And some people need that. And some people gently need that. So again, the discovery calls are so huge because it gives you a sense of whether, I'm going to work with this person well, or I'm not, or this person's my person, or this person's not. It's like dating, right? Like you got to date, you got to kiss so many frogs. Prince Charming. My friend just told me that recently. She's like, girl, she goes, are you kissing frogs because you haven't met Prince Charming yet? And I was like, yeah, I'm still kissing frogs. Absolutely.
Para todos ustedes que se rían, yo llevo 20 años de casada con un hombre maravilloso, el que quiero, el que adoro, me cae súper bien, el hombre me cae súper bien, bien chulo él. Pero yo podía cancelar cualquier cita si me ofrecías pajamas y el remote control. Porque yo trabajaba tanto, ¿verdad? Y me tenían que empujar. Y yo decía, ay, madre, yo no quiero saber la vida de otra persona, yo no quiero una entrevista, porque siempre se sentía como una entrevista. Siempre se sentía como que, ¿y qué tú haces? ¿Y cómo te llamas? ¿Y cuántos nenes tienes? ¿Y que si tienes nenes? ¿Y que si no? ¿Y que si aquel? ¿Que si el otro? Y, a correr para el baño. Y ese tiempo... el texto no era tan bueno como es ahora. So, we had a code in the sisterhood. Call me. There's an emergency. My house is on fire. Gotta go. So esto de las citas románticas está bien difícil. Y yo no sé por qué, Gladys, porque tú eres hermosa. Pero ¿sabes qué?
Gracias.
Eres fuerte.
Oh, sí.
Eres fuerte. So tiene que ser alguien que de verdad pueda bregar con todo eso y que se sienta halagado.
Sí.
Con todo eso.
Seguro en sí mismo, porque si no, para las inseguridades, ¿verdad? ¿Cómo se dice eso?
Las inseguridades.
Yes.
We understood you.
Ok, para allá, tú sabes, como dice Mark Anthony, si hay una fiesta, para allá voy, y si if you got insecurities, para allá yo no voy.
No, para allá no voy. Todos tenemos la habilidad y la conciencia para nosotros tomar decisiones, pero recuerden que uno solo en el mundo no es tan bonito que cuando uno anda con su gente, su tribu. Mira, vale más una buena amiga o amigo que 10 conocidos. Yo conozco mucha gente pero mis amigos son así.
Mm-hmm.
So tengan mucho cuidado. Gladys, yo quiero de verdad, nosotros, ¿te puedes quedar unos minutitos más?
Claro, sí.
Okay.
Pregunta lo que sea.
So for all of you, we have a few more minutes. I just like negotiate it, just like I do with other guests. I negotiate it, but I want you guys to know that investing in yourself is vital for you to develop. People are going to say what they believe. That's not about you, right? And you're going to say what you believe about yourself, and that's why growth is important. You're not broken. You're not broken. And wounds are just a reminder that you are a survivor.
That's right.
Okay. Para todos ustedes que se miran, yo no estoy de acuerdo con que, ay, no, mire el pasado. Ay, mamita, yo siempre miro el pasado y le digo, ay, bebé, lo que he sobrevivido. Te quedaste atrás. Adiós. Gracias por lo ofrecido. Gracias por las enseñanzas. Pero yo no soy el tipo de persona que dice, el pasado se quedó atrás. No. Y a veces me visitan. Las ansiedades, los recuerdos, el yo no puedo, lo que me dijo mi tía cuando yo tenía 7 años, yo no sé ni por qué me acuerdo de eso, pero las quenepas me manchaban la ropa. So, I still remember that vividly. No, cuidado con la quenepa que te manchan la ropa, que es una fruta puertorriqueña, ¿verdad? Las tienen en muchos países también. Nosotros le decimos las quenepas.
Yeah.
¿Verdad?
Pero mini lines.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep, mini lines.
So you need Gladys. You need Gladys to translate that for you. But investing in yourself is vital. I do not share with others, and that's okay. You know me. I stand by what I believe. And as I grow, I also say, you know what? I believe this, but I spend time with Gladys, and she gave me a different way of looking at this, or she shed light on this thing.
Yeah, that different perspective is huge.
Sometimes when you meet people, you realize if you think yourself small, if you think of yourself as small, okay, and this is what I do for a living, talk, so they don't look good. So humor is vital for me. There is my reina, por ahí anda mi hija también. Para todos ustedes que se sienten pequeños, eso es un sentimiento, no es data cruda. Remember, when you feel that you're small, that's not hardcore data. That's not solid data. That's a feeling.
Yeah, that's the cultural conditioning. Someone made you feel small, but you're not small. You're mighty. And I think more and more people need to be reminded of how powerful you are and how powerful we are together. Because I cannot stress the fact that, again, we're not in competition, and that whole, oh, don't bring so-and-so around so-and-so because, I'm like, what? I'm like, no, because there's no other me. There's no other you. And again, we may be similar, right? We may have similar personalities. We may have similar life experiences. We may be in the same field or careers or businesses, but no one is going to do it the way I'm going to do it. No one's going to deliver how I'm going to deliver. And that's what I chose to believe. And that's at 8 years old. At 8 years old, I said, when my mom said to me, that's not for you. That's not for people like us. And I go, what? And that's a core memory for me at 8 years old. And I go, no, there has to be more to life than this. Or why? Because we're all people, right? And so, just because you have a PhD doesn't mean you're better than me. You can have all the PhDs in the world, but you have no experience.
Right. So. La vida es un baile y se va a acabar. Para todos nosotros. La música va a parar. So, gasten la suela de los zapatos al máximo, porque la vida se va a acabar. Y te van a, no sé, lo que usted quiera, le van a hacer la fiestecita, la gente se verá a comer la comida suya después que usted se murió y todo eso. Ay, qué linda y qué buena, y todo eso. Y la gente tiene que seguir viviendo, porque así
claro, no van a llorar toda la vida, no te van a llorar toda la vida.
No, es que no me molesten, porque yo quiero ir con papá Dios, no me esté llamando, no me esté molestando. Ring, no te voy a contestar. No. Para todos ustedes, quiero que tengan la oportunidad, como siempre tenemos, preach.
Yes, thank you.
Para todos ustedes que tienen la oportunidad de llevarse $50 a su casa, de $50 a $100. ¿Qué ha dicho Gladys? ¿Qué ha dicho Gladys? What did Gladys say today? Okay, that made you go, huh? Yo puedo también, mira, ningún sentimiento, pensamiento, corazonada que tú tengas de que tú eres buena en algo o eres bueno en algo, no lo eches a un lado. Now, I am good at a couple of things, but I know what I was born to do. And this is it, is removing barriers. And I love going out with my brothers and sisters and breaking bread. That's like what I know, like I know what was I born to do. I was also born through whatever channel I work at. I want you to meet the Gladys. I want you to meet Las Carlas. I want you to meet Ileana. I want you to meet Carlos. I want you to meet others so you can see that there's other people out there removing barriers day in and day out. I stand for what I believe in, but I am not the only one doing good work out there. These women are blowing it up. I have no idea how to do a business plan. So maybe we need to do a class on that. Because I literally have no idea. Mercadeo, tampoco. Yo tengo un grupo que se llama Butt Ads. Oh my God, I'm so sorry you didn't get to them. Pero encontraste a Liliana, ¿verdad? A Liliana, que encontraste que te pudo ayudar. So siempre hay alguien que te puede dar la mano. ¿Qué dijo Gladys? What did Gladys say that you said, oh, okay, that's interesting to me? That was interesting. So a veces la gente se me pone un poquito, literalmente preach. A veces las personas pues se ponen un poquito shy, ¿verdad? O son tímidos y me lo quieren dejar saber a mí por acá, lo cual siempre es bienvenido. Ok, 2 o 3 cositas. Número 1, me dice Carlos Mabel Lasalle, ¿cómo estás? Dios te bendiga. Yo a Mabel como que siempre le tengo que decir Dios te bendiga. No sé por
qué. I miss that. Nobody says that anymore, though. Remember when?
Yo sí. Oh, no. Sí, todo el tiempo. Te abrazo y te beso. Dios te bendiga. Textéame cuando llegues a tu casa.
Yup. No, un besito. Y, it's like, I think post-COVID, people are like, no. And I'm just like, no, I miss that. If I hug you and kiss you, oh, bendición, oh, que Dios te bendiga. Like, people don't say that anymore. Keep saying it, people. Sí. We can't let that die.
Yeah, no, todo el mundo me dice a mí, ay, Lili, te has puesto viejita, que todo es Dios te bendiga, Dios te bendiga. Dios te bendiga, llámame cuando llegues a la casa. Text me so I know you were safe. So, una de las cosas que dicen, abrazos, great interview, gracias Mabel, es un orgullo siempre tenernos. Mabel es una persona, you would love to meet Mabel. Mabel está en Puerto Rico y trabaja, tiene un programa espectacular en Puerto Rico y ayuda a nuevas empresarias, personas que nunca pensaron que iban a tener una oportunidad, aprenden con sus propias manos y su talento y ha sacado mucha gente de por delante. Yo he tenido la oportunidad de ir a visitarla en la fundación de Ricky Martin. So ella ha hecho cosas maravillosas y cosas que podemos apoyar. Yo siempre apoyo lo que yo creo. So, me están haciendo los comentarios, le estoy dando unos minutitos, tenemos a Gladys por unos minutitos. Mi equipo mañana, yo te amo también, mi amor. A mi equipo mañana definitivamente pues va a poner algo. The world has gotten colder by the day. We need to keep warm and kindness. Yeah, I'm going to put it up here porque todos ustedes saben la importancia de... El amor es mucho más poderoso que lo que usted se imagina. Si usted ama sus hijos, su trabajo, la vida, el sol, el oxígeno, lo que sea, el amor es más poderoso. Más poderoso que cualquier otra.
It takes so much energy to be negative and to be nasty and to complain, but it takes a simple act of kindness to just smile or compliment someone. It's so simple. You waste so much energy being, negative. The negative, no, I don't want to insult anybody if anybody's named Nancy, but the term negative Nancy, right? I don't want to insert it. I like the name Nancy, so no, but I'm just saying there's a term negative Nancy, but we don't want negative people in the world. That don't waste, redirect that energy and be kind and, you're not like the perception of, oh, I can't compliment somebody because they're going to take it the wrong way. And it's like, girl, I love those earrings. Girl, I love that bracelet. Where'd you get it? And, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, did you get it recently? Like, I love when someone goes, I got this on Amazon. And they say it like all like shameful. And I'm like, girl, you got that on Amazon? Wait a minute. I got Prime. Send me the link. Text me the link right now.
Chemu, Wish, ¿cuál es la otra? Me dice, my granddaughter has me on all of these apps and I get a lot of stuff and I like it. I like to stretch my dollar and it's good quality. I've had a good experience. So me dicen por aquí, me encanta la energía de ella. Yo sí tengo mucho temor. Yo quiero empezar mi propio negocio, pero no hablo bien en inglés. Sheen, ella hablaría conmigo.
Pues claro, pero te digo, si yo no sé, yo te hablo en español y en inglés y en Spanglish. Así, we're gonna figure it out. So,
this is not a problem, my friend, okay? This is not a problem. Okay, aprendí y confirmé que podemos empezar en cualquier momento y la llamada de descubrimiento es genial. Por ahí va Mabel. So, para todos ustedes, y ella es una mujer de negocio y empresaria ella misma y también está en Puerto Rico, so Gladys, si pueden hacer ese enlace, a lo mejor ustedes pueden, yo siempre compro del arte que hacen estas empresarias en Puerto Rico, porque es bien importante. Ella también ha ayudado a muchísimas personas como coach en áreas muy, muy importantes en la vida de ellos. ¿Sabe qué nos hace falta? So, Mabel va adelante. Jorge Otero dice, es increíble que esa mujer tan bonita esté soltera, pero como hombre puedo decir que puede ser bien intimidante cuando uno no está bien parado en sus sentimientos y su propia persona, tener una mujer como ella. Dios te bendiga, Dios te acompañe. Yo estoy casado, pero me encantaría que mis hijos terminaran con una mujer así de valiente.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's the best compliment. Gracias. Ay, Dios mío, el mejor complemento, ¿verdad? Complemento que me pueden dar, porque te digo la verdad que no es fácil. No es fácil los hombres de hoy en día. Y yo te digo, yo he rezado por esto. Because yo antes siempre tú sabes, me iba de cita con gringo, ¿ok? Porque, Tommy, espérate, déjame clarify. Mi hija mayor es puertorriqueña 100%, ¿ok? So me encantan los latinos, me encantan, aunque no tengo preference. Pero después yo dije, voy a hacer algo totalmente diferente. Me encontré con un español de España. Okay. Y ese mis otros 2 hijos. Pero yo recé porque yo dije, ay, no, entonces no latino. Pero Dios me dijo, mija, tú te vas a casar con otro latino, so prepárate. Un día de esto te vas a casar. Y yo dije, pues, que sea lo que Dios mande.
No, yo absolutamente dije que el matrimonio ni vaina ni nada de esa cosa, yo soy muy feliz y llegó el negrito a interrumpirme la vida a mí. Definitivamente Mabel would like to connect with you. So las invito a que conecten. Son los $50, Mabel. Van para las empresarias de Puerto Rico. Mabel. Yo sé que ustedes lo pueden utilizar porque son una agencia sin fines de lucro para todos ustedes que quieran apoyar proyectos que existen en la isla de Puerto Rico. Hacen unas cosas maravillosas. Yo tengo unos bolsos en estos mismos momentos que se los voy a enseñar en el próximo programa. So, van definitivamente para las empresarias en Puerto Rico. Han conocido a Gladys. Ya saben que tienen una persona con mucho conocimiento en su comunidad. So you already know you got this jewel in your community. Use it. Here's what I will invite you to do. And I say this as much as I can. Si algo existe en nuestras comunidades, promuévelo. A mí no me quita nada en decir, Gladys es una vaquera in this, man. You got to call Gladys and check it out. You and Gladys may not be the right combination. You may not gel well, but she's going to give a referral to someone else. ¿Ok?
Absolutely.
Y ahí camina todo. Recuerden que eso, pero ya conociste a Gladys. Y empiezas, es tu negrito, tremendo hombre, ejemplo, sí, es mi negrito. Pero les quiero dejar saber que si alguien llama a Gladys y comienzan un proceso, les prometo que lo que necesiten aquí de Lili Sin Barreras que yo pueda hacer para que Gladys, y ella Gladys me llama y me dice, necesito que expongas a este cliente, que hables de lo que ellos, para eso está esta plataforma, para todos aquellos que nos apoyan. Le damos muchísimas gracias siempre a todos aquellos que nos apoyan, que compran estrellitas, que me dicen, Lili, quiero donar, que me dicen, Lili, quiero participar de algo contigo. Le doy muchísimas gracias a todos ustedes. Gladys, es mi creencia que Dios te bendiga, que te dé luz, luz, mucha luz. Pero más que nadie, estoy como el de mercado, salud.
Y mucho,
podemos,
mucho amor.
mucho amor, pero cuando tienes buena salud, te puedes amar más y 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 más. Gladys, le hago esta pregunta muy común a muchas personas y me hace extrañar tanto a mi hermanita Wildalis Bermúdez, que la quiero muchísimo. Si tuvieras la llave, si tuvieras la varita mágica, if you had the magic wand, what's one wish that you would make come true? You got one. No seas lista como las demás que quieren 4 y 5. Oh, wait, Lily, I want this one. No. Uno.
No, it would be to fulfill my mission. It would be to make sure that every woman of color and every minority person knows and educates themselves financially and that they have the financial freedom that they desire. That would be that's my mission. It's financial freedom for everyone that thinks that they can't obtain it. And I'm going to match your $50 to Miss Mabel that wants to connect too. I'm going to match that $50.
So, Mabel Salles, las empresarias de Puerto Rico se llevan $100. Mira para allá, mira para allá. Esos son 2 hermanas trabajando juntas. Para mí ha sido un placer compartir tiempo contigo. Espero que estemos mucho más en conexión. Más en conexión, que vengas más a menudo. Las personas están pidiendo que vengas más a menudo. Y yo creo que tener a alguien que nos enseñe sobre cómo manejar nuestras finanzas. ¿Ok? ¿En qué estamos pensando? ¿Cómo planificamos para el futuro? Sería ideal. Gladys, vuelvo y te repito, a todos ustedes siempre los invito a que se mantengan en comunicación, nos dejen saber qué invitado quieren tener próximamente, a quién. Pero antes que te vayas, Gladys, me han pedido muchísimas personas, quiero aclarar algo, no tiene nada que ver con Gladys, tiene que ver conmigo y Lili Sin Barreras. Nosotros no somos un programa político. Pero que quede claro que yo soy una activista. Esas cosas son muy diferentes. Si un político quiere hablar en estos momentos sobre su carrera, sobre todo eso, y va en beneficio a nuestra comunidad, que son muchas, I belong to many communities. I don't only belong to the Latina, Hispanic, whatever it is now, community. That's just a small part of who I am. Mm-hmm. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, I'm a woman, I'm in my 50s, and all of that kind of stuff. So I belong to many, many communities. So all of that means a lot to me. So please understand, this is not the forum where I bring on politicians when they start running to give them a face or a voice. I do interview politicians who want to talk to the community. I will never tell you who to vote for. Never. Because then I would be guiding you. And your choices and mine may not be the same. But please understand that every vote makes a difference. So no se queden en casa, que con esto les cierro. No se queden en casa llorando y pataleando, que no saben cómo empezar su negocio, que no saben con quién hablar, porque ya tienen con quién hablar. Y de mi parte siempre los dejo con algo. Recuerden que ayer ya pasó. Ya pasó. Por más que duela lo que pasó ayer y todo eso, fue ayer. Agarra la vida hoy. Acuéstate esta noche pensando en lo lindo que puede ser tu mañana. Y si sufres de depresión y ansiedad y todo eso, levanta el teléfono. Habemos gente acá esperando para contestarte. Nos vamos con Muerte al Mercado, que descanse en paz, mucha paz, amor
Mucho amor.
y mucho amor. Buenas noches, mi gente. Gracias, Gladys. Que Dios te bendiga a ti y a tu familia.
Gracias, gracias.